Hi everybody. So a while ago I made this video which showed you how to create overlay panels for any of my boxes or bags that you might want to decorate. And I don't really want to make it play too much if I can, but let's just... Yeah, so I talked about how to use the slice feature because we can't select nodes in Design Space. We can only cut things to get rid of the pieces we don't want, slice and that sort of thing. And this video worked, and lots of people have watched it, and I've had quite nice responses to it. But I saw something on a group the other day, which was such a simple way of doing it, which really makes this video absolutely pointless. So once I've got this new video up, I'm probably going to delete this one because it's really irrelevant. So in this video, I'm going to show the thing that and I don't think she was a creator. I think she was just a woman who discovered how to do it. And I wish I'd kept her name. I've been back to Facebook to see if I can find it. I can't even find it through looking for my activity, but it was just such a simple, fantastic little thing she posted in a group which showed you how to do this, which is 100 times quicker than the way I showed to do it. So I'm going to show it for Design Space. I then wondered if you could do the same thing in Canvas Workspace, and you can after a fashion. So I'm going to show how to do that as well. And then I went to Silhouette Studio to see if I could do it in there, and I couldn't do it in the same way. I have made a video showing customers how to do that in Silhouette Studio. I'm not an expert in that software at all, or in Canvas Workspace, because I run Cricut machines, so it's really Design Space that I know more about. But I will show you very, very briefly how you might do that in Silhouette Studio, but it's a completely different method. So I'm going to show you the one for Design Space. It's a similar thing to do in Canvas Workspace for ScanNCut machines, and then a way of doing the same thing in Silhouette Studio. So we'll go into Design Space now and have a look. Right, so I'm going to use the same file as I did for the other video, which has now completely been superseded. And I just need to ungroup it. I'm going to bring it in. I've ungrouped it, and I'm going to ungroup those two groups there as well. And so normally if you were cutting this, ungroup it, Judith, ungroup, ungroup. So normally if you were cutting it, that group there that I've just ungrouped, you would have had to make those score, but I'm not going to make them score just for now. So all you need to do now is select both the score line, which I've not converted to score yet, it's still set to basic cut, and the actual coloured cut piece. Select them both, then go to offset, choose, it's going to be a negative offset because I want the panels to be within the shape, and I'm going to make it 3 millimeters, so 0.3 centimeters, and I'm going to choose the pointed version so it looks sharper, and apply. And I mean, look at that. In the first video I showed you how to do that. That took a very long time to get to this point. So the only thing is, of course, because you've offset that as a group, and it leaves this alone, of course. So now you could just select. Oops, it moved then. You could just, I'm not doing it. Where's the score for that one? Yeah, you could just select that, make that score now, and then you would attach it. Have you noticed how it just updated this morning? The scores look different. There were much bigger lines before, I'm sure there were, unless I'm losing my mind. Right, so anyway, back to this offset. Because we offset the whole thing, there's no ungrouping that now. You would have to contour it. So we need a piece for the top, the sloping gable, and a piece for the side of the box. So I'm going to duplicate this, so I've got two. And then this one, I'm going to go to contour, and I don't want the glue tab for any of it, and I don't want the wall in this one. So we'll just click on those two to get rid of them. And as you can see now, that's a lovely offset for that piece, panel rather, decorative panel. And for this one, we don't want the glue tab ever, but we don't want that top gable either. And so now we've got our decorative panel for the side. That is just a fantastic way of doing things. It's lovely what you learn in the groups sometimes, the things you pick up. And again, you can do it for this one as well, for the more complex piece. I'll just show you with this one. So I've selected the scores and the cut shape. Again, to offset, it saved the settings, so I can just click apply, and I'll just move that away. And now I want a piece for the gable handles, for the flat top of the box, and for the big back of the box. So I'm going to duplicate this twice, so I've got 3 pieces. And this first one here, I just want to keep the very handle piece. For this one, I want to get rid of everything except that shallower rectangle there. And for this one, I just want to keep the big piece for the back of the box. And so again, it is so quick. They would just go there. Obviously, I'm just throwing them on. Sorry, it's the other side, isn't it? I'm just throwing them on there. And I will do that more complex front just to make sure it works okay for that as well. I think it will. It's absolutely wonderful, is this? That's such a fantastic feature. So again, I'm going to select the score line, which I haven't converted yet, and the cut piece. And I'm just going to go to offset again, and it saved the settings. Yeah, look at that. It just makes it beautifully. So you would do exactly the same thing. Again, you want, I'm just using Control D on my keyboard there, by the way. So for that one, again, you only want the handle. Have I done that right? Yeah. And on this one, I just want that small rectangle. And on this one, I just want the piece that goes around the window. How lovely. That is such a fantastically useful feature to know about. And I won't ever need to feel guilty again about not including decorative panels with my boxes. Now I know it is so easy to make them yourself. Isn't that quick and super? I am going to have one more look around to see if I can find the name of that lady who put this in the group, because it is a brilliant little hack that she shared. Right, so that's how you do that in Design Space. So I'm just going to hide that now, and we'll open Canvas Workspace, and I'll Right, so I should say I'm using the downloaded version of Canvas Workspace. I don't have a ScanNCut machine, so I never actually cut, but I do prepare files for ScanNCut users, and I supply them in Canvas Workspace format. Of course, they can't be used in the online app, but I do think if you can get the downloadable version and use it, if you're on a PC, get it and use it, because it just makes it so much simpler. The thing is, with my files, I design them for Cricut, so everything's in the one file, if you like, which means that they're actually really large format files. And in Canvas Workspace, everything's reduced down to fit on a standard mat, isn't it? Which is really unhelpful. So if you can get the downloadable version of Canvas Workspace on your PC, I recommend that you get it. That's what I'm on here, and that's the only thing I know how to show you this little technique in, which again, I apologize if somebody already knows this, and it's super easy for ScanNCut users. It's just that I'd never seen it for Design Space before, and which it prompted me to try it for this one. So I'm going to open here a file which I know I've already got ready for Canvas Workspace. So it's a little box I made for 2 mugs, and it's this one. As you can see with this file, I actually do supply overlay panels for it, but I'm just going to get rid of those for now and see if I can make this work. So at the moment, the score lines are already set to dashed lines, but to make it a little bit easier, I'm just going to make them all solid lines for now, which is super easy. Just select all and then go to the line menu and choose the top one. So I think it would be a good idea, before you start to make your offsets, to duplicate the piece. I'm not going to do it with the wall panel because we've got 2 which are identical. So I'll just go ahead and use one just to show this little method. So basically I'm just going to select that piece and the lines that would be score lines, if you know what I mean. And then I'm going to go over here to the edit panel, and I scroll down to the offset here, bottom right hand side, and I'm going to click offset. And I have just had a little practice to make sure that I remembered how to do this. I'm not confident in the software at all, but I just wondered if it could do the same thing as Design Space because it's so useful. So I've already set it to an inward offset, which I quite like that Canvas Workspace calls it that. It's absolutely it does what it says on the tin rather than saying negative, which can sound a bit confusing. I've chosen 3mm inward offset. I've gone for round because I don't like the look of that bevel, so I've stayed with round. And I think that probably means you can delete your original line, so maybe I'll do that. Yeah, that looks like it could be a good idea. So I'm just going to click OK. Yeah, maybe that'll work. I'll fill it with a colour, any colour, that one, just so we can see what we're doing a bit better. And then I think for this, what we would have to do is have to use these shapes here to slice the coloured thing we've just made. So I'm going to try selecting them all and then using subtract. And look at that. Similar sort of thing as we achieved in Design Space, wasn't it? So, just like we had to use contour in Design Space, I can't find if there's a similar feature in ScanNCut. I bet there is, but I can't see what it would be called. Can't find anything like that in the is it there? Yeah, I don't know. But a way I did find of doing it was to double click it so that you can actually select all the nodes, all the points of the shapes, and then you can just delete. In fact, you can drag and select more and get rid of the pieces you don't want that way. These are still like of a piece, but I don't think that matters because you could just cut those from a piece of paper anyway, and there's not going to be much wastage, is there? So wasn't that easy? I'll try it with this slightly trickier shape to see what happens there. So again, select the shape and the scores. Oh, in fact, yeah, I'm going to duplicate this one because I'm going to copy and paste it. Let's pop it over there for now because I've only got one of those in the file. So select the lines that would be scores and the cut piece. Go to offset again. It's already saved the settings, so I'm just going to do that. And then to make it easier to see, I'll fill that with a colour. And then I think we do the same thing. We're going to, oh, hang on, it's got rid of that. What would we do there? It's filled those shapes in. So yeah, that's grouped. So I'm just going to click on it to select it, and I'm going to do subtract. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted that to do. And now, can we select all of those and go subtract? Oh, so easy. So again, double click it so you can see the nodes, and then you can just drag around the pieces that you don't want. That is just wonderful. Don't think I could select those and move them. No, I can't. But again, let's just have a look. Well, let me see how big it is now. How big is that? Where do I see that? I thought I saw it there. Oh, there it is. That would actually cut from a sheet of letter or A4 just as it is. So I wouldn't worry about separating those pieces actually. And then they would just go on top of the box like that. I just think this is such a lovely feature. Oh, deliver it. Yeah, so I think that's fairly straightforward. Sorry, I just had to take something off the postman. Obviously that shape's going to be just as easy. So you've just got to remember that, I'll just show you that once more, because that was something we didn't have to do in Design Space, wasn't it? So we're going to select that. Getting quite fast with it now. Offset. It saved the settings. We're going to make that a colour, just so we can see what we're doing. And then remember, it fills these things in, doesn't it? So just select that piece which is grouped already and do subtract, and then it does the little handle cutout or any window cutout, whatever it is, and then just send it to the back. And then you can do your slicing with that bit there. That is so quick. Such a fantastic thing. I keep saying I'm grateful to that woman. I'm going to try and find her, and if I do, I'll name her in the comments. So that is for Canvas Workspace, and I'm going to shut that now because we're definitely not coming back to it. Don't need to save it. And I'll go to Silhouette Studio and I will show you that I couldn't do the same thing in here, which I'm surprised about because it's fantastic software is this. So we'll just bring that in. This is for I'm back to the wine box now. So I'll just try and zoom in. And lines, I brought in an SVG, so normally you'd have to do that and then pick your line pattern from that menu. So when I selected both like that, and then I went to offset, internal offset, can you see how it's just disregarded those, disregarded the score lines that Cricut and Canvas Workspace seem to take into account. So for this one, I think you'd have to do it a different way. This doesn't seem to work, not even if I definitely, well, let's just select them separately. What happens if you do that? So I'll just undo that, get rid of that offset for now. If I can keep doing undo. Right, I wonder what happens if you select that and do an offset. Did it do it? I don't think it did it? No, hasn't changed anything. Okay, so with this one, what you would do is something a bit different. You can either double click, just like we did in Canvas Workspace there, to bring up all the nodes, or you can just go to that tool, Edit Points tool. And so for this one, you'd have to duplicate your shapes before you did it, obviously, but then you can't drag in this one either. So back to that. Oh, sorry. Fumbling. Just get rid of the points. You need to make sure that you've still got, pardon me, I just sneezed, that you've still got another point where you want it to end. So that would be the piece that you'd need, and it's still actual size. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to copy and paste that so we can get the other piece, and then double click this, and again yeah, all I'm doing is clicking on the very point and deleting it. I've clicked the wrong pieces. I want to get rid of these, don't I? Yep. So what we've ended up there with, though, is actual size panels. So we would just need then to apply the offset to these. I don't know if I'll do them one by one just in case it'll group it otherwise. So internal offset, it's already set to 3, apply. And we can get rid of that because that's the full size panel that we don't want. And this one, I'm going to make it lines black. I don't know whether you have to have black lines on things. Apologies if you don't. I'll just choose any random colour, and there you can see you've got your offset that way. And again, this is the same size piece that we've got here. So again, we'd need to go to offset, internal offset. It's already set to 3, apply, get rid of this same size panel. And apologies that I don't know what to do with the lines. I'm just trying to, this is what I'd supply to somebody as a cut file and hope it would work. And I think it does work. And so that's how you do it there. So when it comes to doing these larger pieces, all you need to make sure is that if I double click it to show the nodes, you would need a node at every score line. Otherwise, when you started to delete it, you'd end up cutting into too much of the shape. I'll show you what I mean. So for instance, if I delete that node there, it goes right up there, and that's no good. So we need to make sure, we need to zoom in and add nodes where you haven't got them. I'm desperately trying to zoom in there. So I've already got the cut shape selected. and I want this tool, which is the what's it called again? If I hover over it, edit points tool. So just go to where the score line is. You'll see that the tool changes to that little symbol there. Just click, and then it's given you, I believe, if I move that now, yeah, it has. It's given you a node where you need it. So there's one there already, because of course that's where the glue tab is. So here, again, wait for the tool to change, click to create a node, and click to create a node there. Have I made one? Yes. Right, so I'm going to zoom out again. So do that first, and then copy and paste it, because you need to keep that original one, don't you? So we'll put that over there. So now we can go ahead and do what we did before, which was double click on there. We need a piece for the gable handles, a piece for the box flat top, and a piece for the back. So yeah, we'd need to do similarly to what we did in Design Space and make 3 of these. I don't think I need to show you it though, but just make 3 and then delete the nodes. It's a bit like contouring. Delete the nodes you don't want to end up with the piece you want. I don't think I need to show you it 3 times. It'll become tedious. So I'm going to double click on there, and I'm just going to select, and all I'm doing to delete is backspace on my keyboard. So you can see now when I take the nodes out, it goes to where you would need it to go. So just keep going for this one, and there you've got your actual, oops, oh that's cut obviously, that that cross up there, didn't realize that. So sorry, I don't know what happened there. So anyway, you've got your actual size gable piece there. So we need to apply the offset first. So offset button, internal offset, it's saved the 3mm bit. So we'll just apply there, get rid of that orange full size one, and fill this with a different colour. Doesn't matter what really. Bring it to the front, so you can see that that would just go on there. And you would make the rest of the shapes in exactly the same way. Double click on them, add a node if you need to first, duplicate it, and then double click on it and delete the nodes you don't want. Bit more complicated in this software, isn't it? But not as complicated as it was in Design Space the first time I showed it. Anyway, I hope this has been a useful video. Lots of interruptions there, lots of cutting and rejoining there's going to be in the editing, I think, but I hope it was helpful. Please leave a comment below if you did like it, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here if you want to. Thanks a lot. Don't forget, if you're purchasing 3 or more SVG files at one time from the Tanglecraft Studio Etsy shop, the link is in the description, you can use the 30 for 3 discount code to get 30% off your total purchase. This offer runs all the time, but you need to use that code when you check out. And if you haven't already joined the Tanglecraft Studio Facebook group, join now to get any special Etsy discount codes issued to group members and to take advantage of the free SVG files I give away in the group from time to time. The link to the group is in the description. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.